Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's OG and I am back today with another video, and today's video is about what AXIES do you need to buy in the marketplace. Probably the question I've been getting the most lately. How do I know which ones to get for Arena? How do I know which ones are competitive? Well, I'm going to answer all those for you, so don't go anywhere because this is going to be an action-packed video and I'm going to give you all the information short, sweet, and concise, just how we like it. That's what she said. Just kidding, she never said that. We are now in app.axie, and that's kind of funny because if you want to figure out what meta axie you want to buy, you probably don't want to come to app.axie first. However, app.axie is typically where you're going to do everything. But in order to figure out what's meta on the leaderboard, we're going to go over to Google and we're going to type in AXIES.io. Shout out to AXIES.io. They are currently the best resource to find this information. So if you guys can support them, please do, either whether it's using their code, whether it's sending them a donation. Pumping their code makes me realize, I have a code too. So if you guys want to use my code is OGK. You're more than welcome to use that as well. But you can click on the AXIE leaderboard, and the AXIE leaderboard will show you the players that are currently the top ranked in the game. So this updates in real time. And what you want to do when you come over here is you really just want to identify trends. So you're looking for body parts on these AXIES that are common between multiple builds so that you can go to the marketplace and find something that's similar, right? So as I'm taking a look at these AXIES, I'm like, okay, this is kind of an outlier. I don't see a ton of other builds like it, but good for Xiaomai to basically come up with something different than, what it looks like everyone else, with the exception of we need AXIE Draft. We need AXIE Draft rocking the sustain build with no shame. But everybody else on here really is rocking Leafy, which is the ear card. You guys can see the green ears on this. That's called Leafy. And if there's this many people out of the top 10 that are running it, it's probably pretty good. The other common piece that I see is Bamboo Shoot, which is the horn. That's the green horn card that you see there. That's the first couple things I noticed right off the bat. And then the next piece of it is there's a lot of common tail cards here. As you can see, there's a lot of shrimp cards, there's a lot of cottontail cards, and there's also a couple cattail cards, and that's pretty consistent kind of throughout the list. So that being said, that would probably be the third trend I'm noticing as I look quickly. And then you can see there's a handful of different parts that people are kind of using within the eyes slot, on the back slot, and the mouth slot. But we just want to follow the kind of common trends. So we'll go back over to the marketplace now that we've kind of identified that Leafy is on the ears, the bamboo on the horn, and then the tail. Hopefully you guys like that I kind of point to where the body part are. I don't know if that's helpful for you, but hopefully you like it. And we'll get in. That's a joke. We'll get in here. We'll go Leafy. I'm in the filter section now, by the way, and you're just kind of going to type in the parts that you want, right? That's the easiest way to go about this. So you type in the parts. We got Leafy, we got Bamboo Shoot, and then I'll go with Shrimp. I could do Shrimp here. I could do Cattail or Cottontail. We'll start with this. And really what you want to do now is you want to find an AXIE that's low price, unless, you're loaded and don't care, then just go buy the best one and do that. But personally, I like to try to find value. So I'm going to try to find the best one that's available at the lowest price. So if I'm playing this kind of a build, I know that this build is aggressive. It's all focused around high damage, as much damage as we could pump out as fast as possible. So ideally, the other cards that you use on this AXIE should either help you to provide more damage or have some other small little niche ability to help you to achieve what you're trying to do or to counter something that's beating you. So for this sake of what we're doing here, we're going to look for something that's just going to provide damage, because Leafy builds are built around being aggressive and just damaging and trying to knock out your opponent's AXIES as quickly as possible. There are some different other types of builds. I could get into those in another video, but just to rifle them off really quick, you could do a curse build, which is built around Jinx. You could do a sustain build, which is built around just trying to survive as long as possible. You could do a poison build, which basically takes all your opponent's health down over time. You could do an AoE build as well, which also is going to just equally attack all enemies at once. It's going to kind of bring them down at the same time as well. There's different types of builds, so maybe over and above what the top current build is, maybe you just want to gravitate towards what works for you. Happy to have that discussion, so if you want to, slide in my DMs or tweet at me or do something like that. But trying to find an aggressive AXIE here. So just taking a look at what's on the market, I do have a very good knowledge of all the parts. I've been in this game and space for over 3 years, so I can quickly see that there are none that I like on here. And why do I not like any? So this one, this one, this one. So the first 3, this one falls into the same category, and these 2 on the left-hand side here. So there's 6 out of these 10. I don't like them because they have defense cards on them. So their back card in all of them is defensive, and with our strategy for our build, we don't want any defensive cards. That'd be bad. So those are all cut instantly. And then like just some of these other parts, like there's a defensive card on this one's mouth, so it's cut. This one's cut because of the eyes. That's a summon card. You don't want to summon anything with this build, so we're cut. And this one is the only one that's left standing. And the mouth part here needs to be played with other owl cards. This part is called Little Owl, but you need to play it with other owl cards to really take advantage of it. So one owl by itself is not good. So these are all, I would say, trash. That being said, we kind of move forward to the next batch here. Just a little bit off the floor, right? Like, so the floors, you know, there's one at 14, but really the floor starts about 18, 19 is where it's kind of actually going. But for 2150, this one jumps out to me right away as a decent one. And this one is good as well. You could get by with this one. Out of these 10, this one is one of the best. This one is one of the best. Yeah, I'd say those 2. Probably head and shoulders above the rest. And to explain why, because they all of the cards on them apply single target damage. I mean, Leafy does hit 3 targets, but it's 3 single attacks. The only part that doesn't fall into that is the eyes on this one. These eyes are called clear, but what they do is they allow you to draw additional cards. So if anyone's ever played card games before, draw cards are super important, and I'm realizing my face is blocking that axis, so I apologize. I just kind of scrolled up a bit so you guys can see. Like I said, they're all damage cards. They all apply a decent amount of damage. This one's got a part called Anemone. This one's got a part called Ronin. Like, either one, they both do good. The eye card and mouth card both do damage on this one, so I'd probably go for this one. However, maybe an aqua body type is preferred for you because maybe you have a rune that gives aquas more damage, which is something that is in rare era. There is no rune to give plants more damage. So like these are something that you guys wouldn't kind of have that background knowledge of. So I can understand why there's a lot of questions, and that's exactly why I'm making this video. If you need additional explanation, let me know. I'm happy to help. But really, this is how you can identify which AXIES are meta and which AXIES you should buy if you are trying to be competitive. Really, what I've laid out here is just like a really general kind of strategy of how you can figure out what the top builds are, the top body parts, and then you can go and you can make a more informed decision. There's never a best decision. Let me put that out there. For a while, when I got into this space, I was always trying to find the best buy. And there is no best buy. There's good buys and there's bad buys, but there's no best. If you're constantly hunting for the best, quote unquote, you're going to kind of just be in this perpetual state of like not knowing if you ever actually got the best. So like I said, there's good buys, there's bad buys. In my opinion, if you can get a somewhat useful, even an AXIES that's going to help you to climb the leaderboard and it's close to the floor price, then yeah, I think that's a good value purchase all day long. Not financial advice, do your own research, blah, 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 blah. But I hope this helps. Enjoy and just have some fun playing the game. Take care, everybody. We'll talk soon. Peace.